Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, in the words of John Moxley, of course, at the beginning of his podcast recently, The Emancipation of John Moxley, it is time to talk. Well, I shouldn't say it is time to talk. This really isn't something that, was coming out for a while, some you think hidden announcement or anything. But I feel like with everything that's been going on in the wrestling business lately and things personally for me right now, I feel like this podcast was kind of a little something I've wanted to do, but I never really wanted to pull the trigger on it. And I feel like I have the right opportunity to now. And this podcast, you see, I'm the type of person who I like to here and there just, think things visually. Where if it's, pull out my phone and just capture a random, moment I see with a photograph to, kind of, reflect on something that's me and just grab onto it and just, just look at it like down the line and think, just reflect on it. I like to reflect a lot on a lot of things. It's just who I am. Think back to things, wonder, when things went right, when things didn't go right. And sometimes I like to keep that stuff private. This, though, I felt like I should talk about this. I should open up a little bit about this topic because right now, there comes a time in life where you got to look at the bigger picture with things. Or if it's, a sport, or if it's a job, or a relationship, or a family, or, a car, anything that's simple. So this podcast, which I'm hoping is not too long because it's 10 to 2 in the morning and I don't want to stay up that late. But this is not me, just coming up here and letting loose about me. This is me just wanting to obviously, just share a little personal, like be Mike and not be the man. Just to, just talk about things. And, obviously, open up a little bit and just show a positive side to something that's been a little bit of a struggle lately. And that, of course, mainly I want to focus on is my fandom of wrestling. So we got to really just first realize here again, what has made me a fan of wrestling? Like what made me, want to, follow deep into this more than just, hanging out with some new buddies and whatnot and, just watching guys in Speedos beat the crap out of each other or watching women in bikinis beat the crap out of each other. Of course, it's become a lot more since then, but it's still what does it mean to me? Why do I call wrestlers or since I'm also a baseball fan, baseball players, family members, friends? Why is that we call them heroes? And I want to explain to you guys and share why wrestling involves heroes for me. Whether it's, through a championship win or a feud or just a personal decision they made for themselves that's impacted them. I want to share that. But first, before I get into and explain this, I want to open up a little more about me. And again, I'm going to tell a little bit about me, not in a negative way, but in a way how, it's something that's helped me to grow, to think a little bit more outside the box, to know that, everyone goes through their struggles. And there's people out there who impact someone like me to keep going, even during those times when things are hard. So let me tell you guys a little bit more about me. I'm sure some of you guys I've told stuff before, but again, I'm going to go this, but not get too detailed. I'm 25 years old. 3 years ago, I graduated college. Ever since I've been out of college, my life's been very different. In terms of the fact that just this next chapter, it's been one of the most difficult times of my life. I've had positive experiences. I've had my negative experiences. But what I want to focus on the most and say, share how this ties into wrestling and being a fan of it, making an impact on me. This is where I'm gonna go with this. So 2 years ago, around this time, maybe like a month or so, right? Again, in like early spring, 2 years ago, I had been given the golden opportunity to really make a name for myself in my career. I have a video production degree that I got in college, and my dream is to be a successful videographer. I had that, had very good bonds with my friends, which I still do. Don't get me wrong. I had been with a girl for, at the time, going on 2 years. And, just things started to feel like they were really starting to fall into place for me. Like I had this big opportunity to make an impact. I'm surrounded by a bunch of other great things right now. Let's go 2017. And as that year went on, I was doing great, but I was also encountering some of my bigger obstacles that definitely had me thinking and had an impact on, on myself as a human. And I thought I handled that year very well with my job and everything. But then I started seeing that after this year, I wasn't really getting too many opportunities. And that started to make me feel like, is what I'm really working hard for, really making something further out of me? You know what I mean? Like, is this really helping me get to the next stage of my life that I want to be? I started realizing it may not be. And around that time happened, that's also when something in my personal life started to go downhill a little bit. And that was, I was in a relationship for about 2.5 years. And unfortunately, it ended at the end of 2017. It was not my terms. It was on her terms. And without going into more details about it, let's just say it didn't end on a good note. And ever since, then, I've been, feel like I've kind of been going a little down with my opportunities. And, I just feel like, some other things in life, haven't quite been the same since 2 years ago, when I felt like I had like everything in the palm of my hands, and then just like that, it all just went away. It felt like for me. And of course, that's when I sat up and I started thinking to myself, I really want to make something more of myself. Like, I really want to, get out there, be a more independent person, because like right now I still have my parents, which, it's not a bad deal. I'm just waiting until I have, the right income coming in and I can afford it with my own. I'm not out there taking risks and, just get myself in a bad situation. But I'm hungry to get out there. I'm determined to get out there. I'm determined to achieve my own goals in life and not just sit back and just take whatever I can get. And the harsh truth is, there have been times where I felt like I've had to do that. Just accept what I can get. But is that really a healthy lifestyle? Is a person who has a dream of being successful in something that they're passionate about, wanting to, be successful, to be an impact, to be a role model, to, be able to share your life with someone else, to have a family. To me, it's just sitting here and just taking whatever I can grab, and it's accepting that I'm by myself right now. Well, not completely still my parents, but is that really how I want to live my life right now? No. I know it's going to take time for me to, get back up that ladder. I actually do have a job interview later this week for a job that's, not in my field, but it can be an opportunity to help me grow in other aspects to make me stronger when I do get that higher up opportunity um, down the line in my field. And it all goes with another little story I like to share. It's nothing really bad or anything, but one time I remember I was talking with somebody, and I remember they were saying something like, "Yeah, there are people all life, especially like when you're in high school or like middle school or you're in college. We have to take like your core classes that you don't want to take, and you're like, why do I have to take these?" And someone once told me the reason why you do is to help you think more critically, and that stood out to me ever since. Especially when it comes to times where I've had to open up my opportunities, my expand my my options with my opportunities for me to grow to that more independent life that I'm working towards getting. And it's tough at times because like it feels like, okay, am I accepting that what I want to achieve is not going to happen, or am I just or am I just just trying to help me straighten myself be a better person? So how does this tie into me being a wrestling fan? Who are my heroes? Who are the people that I look up to? Whether it's their on-screen characters or their who they are outside the ring and whatnot, the impact they have left on people. Why do you think Make-A-Wish people want to meet guys like John Cena or Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins or Randy Orton or Becky Lynch or Paige, Alexa Bliss, like any of these people that are popular, especially in the Make-A-Wish program for sure and whatnot, like stuff like stuff like that. Why are these people heroes? Why do people watch this product? Not just WWE, but any wrestling promotion, even though it's fake. I hate it when people say it's fake. To me, it's just another TV show you would actually see on TV. People tell stories, and the job they're supposed to do is to convince you what's happening is real. Show the real emotion in there. And they're guys. Like who are some people I consider heroes? Highlight that big hero moments that just make an impact on me. Daniel Bryan. First person that definitely made an impact on me as a wrestling fan. His story of working from the bottom to his way up to the top with the Authority. Kofi Kingston recently, with him waiting 11 long years, not getting any opportunities. The moment he does get an opportunity, he hits it out of the ballpark, runs with it, and has a WrestleMania moment. Mustafa Ali, someone who is very good at showing empathy, taking some of the nastiest bumps, vicious, brutal bumps I've ever seen anyone take. Yet he still gets back up and he keeps on fighting, showing heart. That's why he was called the heart of 205 Live when he was on 205 Live. Johnny Gargano, someone who had came in as just an extra, but once again, that was not just him just selling for coming in as being an extra. That was him, taking an opportunity to earn that actual contract and run with it and become one of the biggest stars in NXT of all time. You notice a trend there. Those are guys where they're the same characters now in the same situation or not. Like Daniel Bryan is no longer that lovable yes man. He is now a psychopathic environmentalist, and I think, of course, he has done well in that role. But those names I mentioned are people who have had to work from the bottom to get their way up to the top. People who, have had to make an impact, make a statement for themselves starting at the very bottom. There's some people out there, like obviously Roman Reigns, Lacey Evans, John Cena, who else? Like Baron Corbin is recently whatnot. Those are people who really, they come across as people who, have gotten these opportunities and haven't not had to do, or Charlotte Flair, no offense, haven't had to do as much work as some of these other people. I mean, I'm sure in real life to earn these opportunities, yes, of course, they've had to work hard, but they're on-screen characters, the characters that we are fans of. There's just some wrestlers, their characters come across as people who didn't have to work from the bottom, and they're being given these opportunities a lot easier than others. So why do you think, I mean, yes, Roman Reigns does cool moves. Charlotte Flair has great athleticism. Who else? I mean, can I really say, Lacey Evans, she's still green. I'll give her credit. She does try, even though I'm not a fan of her super push she's getting right now. But, again, guys I've referred to before, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, Mustafa Ali, Johnny Gargano. Heck, I'll even throw in like Roderick Strong when he was a baby, or like Ty Dillinger, like those ultimate underdog babyface. Sami Zayn in NXT also. Well, let's not forget that one as well. Like if I could compare my character at all, like myself at all, I definitely compare myself to like a Sami Zayn NXT, that babyface, who always wanted to do what was right. And at times, yes, it hurt him. And there's times where he realized, I got to step up and get serious and whatnot, as he did with his feud with Neville. Those are people that, again, I look up to because I see me in them. Like those stories of like, you want to see, your lovable baby faces, succeed. You want to see them overcome that big obstacle, that serious obstacle that you could have that doubt maybe they can't get over it. And to see some of those guys, like as baby faces, get treated like they're garbage, especially someone like, Sami Zayn, who really has not hit his high point on the main roster. I mean, at times felt like he was starting to get there, but then he goes right back down to being just that guy who just eats pins again, whether he's a face or a heel. And it's like saying that, like, okay, they're weak. Here's another example. Bayley, came across as a relatable, lovable fangirl in NXT. Comes up to the main roster and acts like a delusional airhead. No offense. Until recently, where I felt like her booking better. But like, what was so breaking about her feud with Alexa Bliss in 2017? It made her look weak. It made her look like someone that someone can't take seriously, and that hurts babyface characters. It's what hurts them. But when they succeed, and people like me or someone else who's been someone who hasn't gotten their opportunity so easily, like jumps through hoops. We all jump through hoops and our obstacles and whatnot, no matter, what type of people we are. Seeing those people that we wanted to succeed so bad get past those tough obstacles. Like my biggest storyline, again, that had the impact on me, Daniel Bryan, The Authority. It was such a feel-good moment for me. Or even Daniel Bryan being able to come back to wrestling after thinking he was never going to be able to wrestle again. That was a heroic moment for me. Especially also, around that same time, another little story here. A month after I graduated college, I suffered a knee injury. It was not really that severe, but it was still, big to me because I never really suffered anything that bad before. It was a hyperextension in my knee. I was worried first I tore my ACL, but it was just hyperextension. But that injury costed me some of my confidence. Like I was scared to do physical sports for a while. And then like a year ago, maybe like a little over, not a year and a half, like maybe like early in 2018, my uncle talks me into playing in the softball league. And I wanted to play, but I was scared. I was scared I was going to hurt my knee again. And one day I literally, because I was afraid to, do things where I had to, twist my body. Because that's when, I would, first couple weeks after I hurt my knee, I'd feel, that little, weird feeling. I'm thinking, oh, shoot, I'm aggravating this and whatnot. I just didn't want to make it a lot worse than it was. But when I went down to the ball field like one day, in my heart, I really felt I wanted to play again. And again, I've always loved baseball. I've never been really the best, but I've always wanted to find that opportunity to be able to play it again and experience those moments that my heroes in baseball have experienced. And I went down there and I started hitting the ball. Saw something there hitting it. Leg felt great. That was right around the same time before Daniel Bryan, of course, got cleared. And it was like, wow, myself and my own hero got cleared the same, got their confidence back and got back what they've been missing out on for 2 years. And of course, he made that beautiful fight for your dreams and your dreams will fight for you. Even though his dreams eventually took over and kicked AJ Styles in the balls to crack a joke there. But that's one of two things I got to say that being a wrestling fan has made an impact on me. It's definitely, just again, being that typical underdog, that just don't give up hope on trying to fight for your dreams. But let's dig into that word dreams a little bit more, as there's a second thing I got to say, especially in the past couple years, that I feel wrestlers not in WWE have had an impact on me. This one is more so directed towards people like CM Punk, Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, Cody and Dustin Rhodes. And even though he's not one of the most trustworthy guys that people really, look up to, Ryback, and a few other people. Why am I mentioning, or recently Ty Dillinger also with requesting his release? Why am I talking about those guys? Those are guys that chose to leave WWE and go somewhere else and do something else to find them, or just to go move on to what's next, like Dean Ambrose more so did. Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, in his podcast, The Emancipation of Jon Moxley, yes, he did bury the company, but he's mentioned at the beginning nothing but gratitude towards WWE and mentioned how WWE changed his life. It was like he was in college or something like that. And now, he done everything he can do there. It's not that he's, moving on for, ill will. It's just he felt that he had done all he could with them. And now it's time to move on to the bigger thing for him, which is, a more independent wrestling life, doing movies, doing AEW, doing New Japan Pro Wrestling. And personally, the first person that I feel like, has impacted me with this route again was Cody Rhodes. Left WWE in 2016 to prove you don't need WWE to succeed in the wrestling business. He's already indies, Ring of Honor, New Japan. He did stuff there. And recently, of course, he basically worked to start his own wrestling promotion. One of the people who definitely, the brains behind All Elite Wrestling. These guys, yes, there's people who are in WWE. And of course, Vince McMahon feels that WWE is the place to get to. That may be somewhat true, but that's like saying that, I'm not happy unless I'm like the executive director of this project. There's some people who are okay with, I'm okay with being just, the editor, or just, the camera operator, or, just being, the technical director, not the producer, or just a director instead of the producer, basically. Like, those are people, right? Like, another example, Moxley mentions that, what if they were going to offer him $10 million to stay with WWE? His car is paid off. His house is paid off. He helped his mother pay off her house. He's got everything he needs. What else does he really need that is going to change anything for him? Nothing. Now he just wants to go out into the wrestling industry and do what he wants to do. He's done, he's thought critically through his experiences at WWE. There's things he liked. There's things he didn't enjoy, obviously. There's things, Cody Rhodes liked. There's things he didn't enjoy, obviously. CM Punk, well, obviously Punk has shown more of, dismay, how he a little more negative towards his WWE career than the others. But those are guys that choose to do what makes them happy. Not just to, fill a hole in life, not just to, put money in their bank account, but they chose to go wherever they need to go to have fun and be happy and enjoy themselves. And to feel like they're not just doing things just to, impress a 73-year-old man or 74, however old Vince McMahon is. And that's gets me thinking as well too. And it makes me sit back and think, what truly does make me happy? Like what will make me happy? Will working at a fast food restaurant make me happy the rest of my life? Will working in a production company make me the happiest in my life? Will being single make me the happiest in life? Will being married make me the happiest in life? Will having kids make me happy? Will never having kids and never being a father make me happy? These guys are out there to prove a point. And yes, not to be full of themselves, not to say, oh, this sucks, but this is good and whatnot. I mean, some yes, some no. But these, whether they're, on-screen characters, these are still real-life human beings. They have their lives that they want to deal with. They have the names they want to make. They have their motivations to be role models, people like us, who watch them and give them their attention on a regular basis. And for them to, say, hey, this is not where I want to be. I want to go here because that's where I'm going to be able to, have more, creative freedom, or, I could still, do these other projects on the side, or, I'm going to be able to still, spend some more time with some people when they're passionate about what they do and they're fans of what they do. And that's how I want to live my life too. I want to be able to, be successful in something that I've dreamed of being a role model about. I want to be able to be someone that people are going to look at and say, yeah, I want to be just like Mike Ruggiero. I want to be just like the Club of the Man 1993. I want to be somebody who, shares my life with someone else and, and role model to my kids someday when I have them. And, it sounds funny. You think, oh, a wrestler, just, has an impact on, looking strong and looking talented, whatnot. But no, things I just mentioned, being an underdog, being someone who just wants to do whatever makes them happy and not to settle for what's something else. That's what being a wrestling fan has impacted me on. Helped me, realize more. We've all heard this expression of like, never giving up well, but no. There's sometimes you got to look at other people's stories, be reminded, and inspire those people to keep going. And again, I don't hate my life. I do not hate my life. I'm not where I want to be, but I have things I'm grateful for. But obviously, I'm hungry for more. And seeing people like the characters that have succeed inspires me more to be like them and say, hey, I want to be like Johnny Gargano. I want to be like Daniel Bryan. I want to be like Kofi Kingston. I want to be like Dean Ambrose and Cody Rhodes and who else? Ty Dillinger. Neville also, for crying out loud. I forgot to mention him. Neville. I want to be one of those people who works hard, wants to succeed, wants to be creative, and wants to have fun. And just wants to do whatever makes me happy. Because that's all I need in life, is what makes me happy. I don't need something just to be there, just to, fill a spot. If you're just filling a spot, that's not going to make you happy. And yeah, that's basically what I've wanted to share in this small podcast here. How has being a wrestling fan had an impact on me? Helped me be a bigger dreamer, helping me, still have hope in times where things are rough, where I may have, been great with what I did, and it feels like at times, it didn't work. It was not worth it in the long run, or it didn't get me anywhere, or it led me down to a bad route where I lost, someone close. But being a wrestling fan is definitely something that, just motivates me. Just something that, if he needs people that how they're motivated and what inspires them as well. And people that, I see myself in, just pushes me to continue to, sit up and do the same and go on the same quest that they have gone on. And with that, guys, thank you for your stuff in the live chat, by the way, Tyler. With that, guys, that's going to be it for this podcast. I'm interested here too. Make a video response, guys, or just comment down below. What has it been as a wrestling fan impacted you? Who are some people you'd say are your heroes? Who are some people that you say, or even if it's not in WWE, even if it's WCW, ECW, AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan, Ring of Honor? Who? Like where and when, and how a wrestling fan have impacted you? Leave us down in the comment section below. Slap a like on my video, subscribe or comment on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBrownie3. And again, quote Daniel Bryan, fight for your dreams, and they will fight for you.